While it's only a couple of weeks since the inauguration, there's complete evidence, we've seen nothing that we can work, that I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign, which turns out to be not true, a hoax, and really dangerous to the economic stability of America's working families.
You said your greatest desire is to lead Donald Trump right into impeachment. I'm wondering why is it appropriate to call for the impeachment of the president less than a month after him taking office?
I have not called for the impeachment yet. He's doing it himself. Let me just say that the statement I made was a statement in response to questions and pleas that I'm getting from many citizens across this country. What are we going to do? How can a president who is acting in the manner that he's acting, whether he's talking about the travel ban, the way that he's targeting Muslims, or whether he's talking about his relationship to Putin and the Kremlin, and knowing that they have hacked our DCCC and DNC, and knowing that he is responsible for supplying the bombs that killed innocent children and families in Aleppo. And the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea, I think that he is leading himself into that kind of position where folks will begin to ask, what are we going to do? And the answer is going to be, eventually, we've got to do something about him. We cannot continue to have a president who's acting in this manner. It is dangerous to the United States
for
of
the
America.
Democratic Senate candidate in Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, to come clean about her history. This whole controversy started a couple of weeks ago when it surfaced that Elizabeth Warren, who was challenging the Republican Scott Brown in Massachusetts for his U.S. Senate seat, has claimed in the past to be a Native American. While she was teaching at Harvard, while she was at another top university, she listed herself. She claimed she did it because she wanted to meet other people who were like her. This is all based on her claim that her great-great-great-grandma may have been Cherokee, something now genealogists have said they have zero evidence of. And we have heard increasing calls from the Cherokee community after new reports suggest that Warren may not have any Cherokee background at all, to have her apologize. Twyla Barnes is a Cherokee genealogist behind the blog Thoughts from Polly's Grandmother. She wrote an open letter to Warren asking for proof of her heritage. Twyla, thank you very much for being here. You know, she maintains that it's been in her family, she's known about it for a long time, and maybe there's no proof of it, but that she is indeed 1/32nd Cherokee. What say you?
No, she's not. I've looked at her documentation. I've looked at her family papers. There's nothing to indicate she's Cherokee. Her family is found nowhere among Cherokee records.
What about the great-great-great-grandma, Sarah Smith, O.C. Sarah Smith, who first we were told that in a marriage application, marriage license application, she was listed as Cherokee. Now that we're being told there's really no proof of any of that.
The application does not say Cherokee anywhere on it. It has his name and his mother's name as O.C. Smith. It doesn't even have Sarah on it. It just has O.C. Smith, and there's no Cherokee.
So far, she has not released any proof. She's not released any documentation. You say in your open letter, quote, "We Cherokees have lots and lots of documentation supporting our claims of ancestry." Is that the case?
For Cherokees?
Yes.
Yes. There is, from the Miller Roll, which was 1907 to 1914, going all the way back to before the Trail of Tears, Cherokees are recorded, and we can trace our families.
She doesn't provide documentation as proof, but apparently her campaign is pointing some folks to the Pow Wow Chow cookbook, a Native American, in which she's got a Native American recipe. She's listed as, one of the providers, or a Native American recipe that, I don't know, she called for mayo in it. She's taken some heat for suggesting that a Native American recipe has mayo in it. I don't understand how it works, Twyla, quite frankly. But she's pointing to this, apparently, and she's also given this soundbite about her appearance and the appearance of others in her family. Take a listen.
I still have a picture on my mantle at home, and it's a picture my mother had before that, a picture of my grandfather. Aunt B has walked by that picture at least 1,000 times, remarked that her father, my papa, had high cheekbones like all of the Indians do, because that's how she saw it. And she said, and your mother got those same great cheekbones, and I didn't. She thought this was the bad deal she had gotten in life. Being Native American has been part of my story, I guess, since the day I was born.
What's your reaction to that, Twyla?
Well, when she said it's part of her story, that's true. It's just a story. And honestly, I have never walked by any picture of any of my ancestors that are Indian and said, they have high cheekbones. It's just not something we say. That comment, I'm just shocked that she used that.
First of all, I want to correct myself. Apparently the campaign didn't put it out, but she did tout her Native American roots alleged in this '84 cookbook.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has a very controversial past, which we will get to in just a minute, is now taking the lead on attacking and obstructing President Trump. Now, last night, Warren took to the Senate floor to smear and slander Jeff Sessions. It got so bad that the Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, had to invoke Rule 19, which states, quote, no senator in debate shall directly or indirectly by any form of words impute to another senator or to other senators any conduct or motive unworthy or unbecoming of a senator. But of course, Senator Warren didn't stop there. She followed up her Senate floor performance by declaring that Democrats are now the party of opposition. Watch this.
The way I see it is that Democrats have the minority in the House, the minority in the Senate, but that does not make us the minority party. We are the party of opposition, and that is our job.
In other words, the party of what? Madonna, Ashley Judd, Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter. Now, this is not the first time that Senator Warren has gone off the deep end, if you will, and into the gutter to score cheap political points. You may remember when she viciously attacked Donald Trump during a campaign rally. This was with Hillary Clinton. Take a look at this.
I got news for you, Donald Trump. Women have had it with guys like you. And nasty women have really had it with guys like you. Get this, Donald. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart. And nasty women vote.
Nasty.
No, this is a island that at its widest level is, what, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 20, I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
What?
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
And also things like the environment, the sensitive areas of the environment, coral reefs and those kinds of things. And I know that, you know, lots of people don't like to think about that, but, you know, we didn't think about global warming either. And now we do have to think about it. And so I'm concerned from an environmental standpoint whether or not Guam is the best place to do this relocation, but it's actually the only place. Is that correct?
That's all, folks.
Well, Donald Trump's imminent inauguration continues to drive his opponents off the edge. Now, Georgia Congressman John Lewis says he will not accept Trump's presidency as legitimate. When asked today whether he would try to develop a relationship with the new president for the good of the country, Lewis said this.
I believe in forgiveness. I believe in trying to work with people. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president. I think the Russians participated in helping this man get elected, and they helped destroy the candidacy of Hillary Clinton.
Well, because of Trump's supposed illegitimacy, Lewis says he plans to join 5 other Democrats in boycotting.
We have 3 branches of government. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President. We have 3 branches of government. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President. We have a House, we have a Senate, we have a President.
That's all, folks.